I don't know if any of you heard this morning, but we talked with Regina Hertzlinger. Are you hip to her? Regina Hertzlinger wrote a book called Who Killed Healthcare? If there's one book that you read to equip yourself for the water cooler conversations or those around the barbecue this summer, please pick up this book and read it. It's common sense solutions, and it defeats all of the lies. Let's talk about another lie, and again, this I'll keep it short here. I want you to understand what this magical marvel of the electronic medical record means. That's been touted to save millions and trillions of dollars. It's going to be the answer. Suddenly, your doctor is going to have a source to go to find answers for your problem. There's at least 5 fantastic, absolutely, I wish I'd have invented them because I could be in Argentina, Carol. Carol came from Argentina. I could be in Argentina on the beach. That give us information when we have a problem. But no, the government, through the wonderful electronic medical record, is going to be able to tell us what's best for you and tell you what's best for you. It's an absolute lie, and the answers will be filtered, and it'll be filtered on a political basis, and it'll be filtered on a rationing basis. They also say that the EMR will be more efficient and duplicate tests won't be ordered. There's a thing called a fax machine and a telephone. I've been using them for about 30 years. They work great. If you come to see me and I need to know what your doctor did, all it is a phone call. There's no wait, no hurry. It works just fine. Don't let them lie to you. Don't let them sell you a bill of goods. The next lie they'll say is that indeed tort reform isn't important. It's estimated that at least $150 billion a year, that's probably an underestimate, is what is accounted for in terms of defensive medicine, COIA medicine, and jumping through the hoops that the trial bar puts in front of us. By a simple cap on pain and suffering, they could make a huge dent in that. Frankly, by going to an arbitration kind of a system, they could do that to where people who have truly been wronged can be righted, and where people who are filing trivial lawsuits without any risk on their part, unlike the British system where if you file and you sue and you lose, you pay. There's simple solutions. What does fearless leader say, narcissist in chief say? He's a wonderful rhetorician. He says, I don't believe in caps on damages, but I think we have an answer. If doctors follow good medical practice, then there'll be protection from liability. That's as vacuous a statement as his cerebral cortex is as vacuous. So you'll hear the looters like Obama say that we can cut out fraud and abuse. Do you know what they call fraud and abuse? When we miscode, according to them, on their retrospective audits of Medicare claims, we have a thing, I should have brought it, it's about not a trifold, but a 6-fold, a little schedule on 3 organ systems examined, 2 medical history points taken, a review of systems, and a partridge in a pear tree get you a 99213. And you have to go through and spend 4 or 5 minutes to code for every patient. They pay the claims without any question, unlike good insurance companies, which actually question you and hold your feet to the fire, and you would want them to do that as their customers. And then on the back end, they hire bounty hunters, and they come in and they do audits. They swoop in like the brown shirts. They take your medical records, and they look at them, and then they say, well, you know, that should have been coded somewhat less. So not only are we going to reduce that payment on that patient, we're going to arbitrarily reduce the coding on all similar codes that you submitted for the last 5 years, a $10,000 fee, and potential criminal liability. Is it any wonder that your doctor just wants to go home and drink a stiff bottle of scotch when he gets done with his day? I happen to like my scotch. Look, we're human beings, and I know that you all, as staunch conservatives, know that human behavior drives a lot of politics and it drives interpersonal reactions. Doctors crave for trust and the opportunity to take care of you. Politicians crave for control and your vote and nothing more. Please keep that in mind, and going forward, fight the good fight and say, Mr. Obama, take down this bill. Mr. Obama, take down this bill. Take down this bill. Thank you very much.
All right, did he deliver on the common sense, I promise? All right, you know, I have to make a wonderful announcement. At least I think it's a wonderful announcement. Somebody donated a car to the cause. Either that or they left their keys at the registration table. So if you didn't donate the car, I have the keys and the car. I have your keys, so you want to come up and see me. You know, Jim talked about the fact that President Obama was in Africa saying the stimulus works.
Stay there.
I think he's right. It's probably working for Africa because it's sure not working here.
Right. Stay there.
You know, we're talking about health care and about what they want to do to us, they being the president and Harry and Nancy and the rest of those folks. But you notice that there's nothing in those bills to take away their health care. I think it's a good idea that if they force us to live under their version of socialized care, they should as well. We need to let them know it. Just for a minute, turn around and look at the other folks that are here. It's a great crowd on a rainy Saturday morning. Great crowd. And we have some water in the back along with the bagel bites if you're getting a little famished or a little thirsty. The water is provided by Aqua Systems. Brett Line, who is a small business guy who gets it and knows that that federal government is out to get him. So we need to make sure that we work with businesses and frequent the businesses who know what's important and makes it work.